Before we dive into this incredible HFY sci-fi story, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Your support helps bring more epic tales of humanity's courage against the stars. And don't forget, share this video with a friend who loves sci-fi as much as you do. Picture this. For 1,000 years, the gray race had ruled the galaxy with an iron fist. Their black ships cut through the void like razor blades, and wherever they landed, only ruins and slavery remained. They called themselves the Gray Gods, and honestly, they had good reason to. Their technology was so advanced, it might as well have been magic to every species they conquered. Commander Zethkar stood on the bridge of his mothership, watching yet another solar system fall under his control. 3 inhabited planets, tens of millions of beings who would now either kneel or die. It was always the same story. Some species tried to resist at first, but they all eventually bowed before the superior power of the Gray. "Sir," his lieutenant said, approaching with tentacles quivering in deference, "we've detected signals from a new species in the next system. They appear primitive, still using chemical combustion for propulsion." Zethkar laughed, a guttural sound that echoed across the bridge. More insects to crush. "Ready the fleet. Let's give them the gift of subjugation." What the Gray didn't know was that these primitives had a name for themselves, humans. And humans had one trait that no other species in the galaxy possessed, an irrational stubbornness in the face of impossible odds. Now, the first invasion of Earth was almost a joke to the Gray. Their energy shields easily deflected human nuclear missiles. Their plasma weapons vaporized entire fleets of Earth fighters. Within days, the planet's major cities were in ruins. But then something weird happened. Instead of surrendering, the humans just kept fighting. "This is impossible," Zethkar muttered, staring at the battle reports. "They've lost 90% of their military infrastructure. Why are they still resisting?" Human resistance. The most disturbing thing was their adaptability. The Gray realized this when one of their ground patrols simply vanished. "We found the wreckage, sir," reported the lieutenant, his voice trembling. But it wasn't an explosion. "It looks like they studied our technology, adapted it." Zethkar frowned. "Impossible. It took us millennia to develop that technology. Sir, humans appear to have a unique capacity for reverse engineering. In just weeks, they figured out how to disable our personal shields. They're using our own weapons against us. The turning point came 6 months after the initial invasion. Humans had been pushed back to the mountains and remote regions, but they kept attacking. Worse yet, they were evolving tactically at an alarming rate." "Sir!" The lieutenant burst onto the command bridge, clearly panicking. "Sector 7 base has been completely destroyed." "Impossible. That base had Class A shields and a full garrison. The humans, they discovered how to overload our shield generators using coordinated electromagnetic pulses. And, sir," the lieutenant hesitated, "they didn't just destroy the base. They stole it, took all the technology." Zethkar felt something he hadn't experienced in centuries. Fear. "Summon the War Council. Now." What followed was a transformation that shocked the entire galaxy. Humans, using captured Gray technology and their own brutal ingenuity, began building spaceships. They weren't elegant like Gray vessels. They were ugly, improvised things that looked more like welded scrap than warships. But man, did they work. The first space battle between humans and Gray was a disaster for the self-proclaimed gods. Human ships didn't follow any known military doctrine. They attacked from impossible angles, used suicidal maneuvers that no sane commander would consider. The war lasted 3 years, and every month humans became more dangerous. They didn't just copy Gray technology, they improved it. Their shields were more efficient, their weapons more destructive, their ships faster. But what really broke Gray morale was discovering that humans weren't just defending Earth. They were liberating other planets. "Sir," reported an intelligence officer, "the humans have made contact with the species we enslaved. They're teaching them to resist." Zethkar felt his world crumbling. "What kind of species does that? Risks their own lives to free strangers? A species that believes freedom is a universal right, sir." The end came in a surprising way. Humans didn't destroy Gray civilization. They did something worse. They offered surrender terms. "You can join the galactic community as equals," said human Admiral Sarah Chen. her image being broadcast to the entire Gray fleet. Or you can keep fighting until there's nothing left of you. Your choice, it was the ultimate humiliation. The Gray gods, conquerors of 1,000 worlds, were being offered mercy. Zethkar looked around his devastated command bridge. Half his fleet had been destroyed, his colonies were in revolt, and humans had proven that even gods can bleed. Accept the terms, he said finally, his voice heavy with defeat. Years later, when galactic historians studied the human-Gray war, they came to a simple conclusion. The Gray made one fundamental mistake. They assumed that superior force guaranteed victory. Humans proved there's something more powerful than advanced technology, the absolute refusal to give up. And so, a primitive species from a small blue planet taught the entire galaxy a lesson that would echo through the centuries. Never underestimate the determination of those who fight for freedom. The Gray gods had encountered something more powerful than themselves, the indomitable human spirit. And that, my friends, is how humanity went from being seen as primitive insects to becoming the galaxy's liberators. Not through superior technology or overwhelming numbers, but through sheer, bloody-minded stubbornness and an unshakable belief that freedom is worth fighting for. Sometimes, the greatest weapon isn't the biggest gun or the strongest shield. Sometimes it's just refusing to quit when everyone expects you to.